This is a breakout session with Autodesk, and it's going to be a session for 20 minutes. And after the 20 minutes of presentation, we have 5 minutes for question. So if you have any questions, which we hope you have, of course, put them in the Q&A section, and we will make sure that we will try to get some answers from Autodesk during the last 5 minutes of this breakout. This breakout takes, as I said, 20 minutes, and it's all about sustainability for AEC firms in the Nordics. Autodesk made a very interesting report on the market. So with me today, we have Joachim Dekker from Autodesk, and he will present some of the most interesting findings in that report. So I hand it over to you, Joachim, and you have 20 minutes ahead, and then we end up with some questions in the end. Okay, stage is yours.
Thank you, Henrik, and great to be here at Summit today. Even though I would have loved to be, live at the BIM Summit. I've attended probably the last 5 or 6 BIM Summits in the past, and it's always been great to engage with, the people at Symetri and all customers. So I've been working for Autodesk the last 7 years now. I'm leading a team of account executives that work in the AEC industry, and they also work in several of the companies that have participated in this study that we work with the consultancy firm Frost Sullivan for last year on. Please be sure to visit the Autodesk booth here on the platform for more information. You can also watch a presentation from Linnell Cameron, which is our VP of Sustainability, where she's sharing the key takeaways from the report as well as the full report. As you probably know, we live in an increasingly interconnected economy, and we are learning that it's perhaps more fragile than we realized. The global pandemic has been a wake-up call to leaders around the globe, and such disruptions at a global scale are likely that we can expect more of in the next decade. We need to be ready for unexpected and build resilience into our businesses and our economies. And the rise of digitalization provides an important lever to not only help us understand complexity, but also to prepare for it. Our research shows a growing understanding of the importance of sustainability across the key stakeholders, which is government, industry, and the public. And there's a consensus that collectively we need to act now. And I will agree in many regards the Nordics are leading that charge. I also think it's fair to think that digitalization as a centerpiece of resilient future. The intent with the study was to dig into how AEC and manufacturing companies across Northern Europe are responding to the challenges and opportunities of delivering business results alongside sustainability outcomes. Frost & Sullivan helped us to explore and understand what was actually going on in these type of firms. So 600 business leaders were surveyed. Out of that, we conducted 24 qualitative interviews with selected Autodesk customers that are seen as leaders in sustainability in different sizes to gain deeper understanding and add color to the quantitative data. The results are shining a light on what we can do to better support our customers in their sustainability journeys, and aims to help our customers understand what steps they can take to be more sustainable. The Canadian research firm Corporate Knights, that was established in 2005, they annually publish the Global 100 list, which ranks the corporations with revenue above $1 billion, and they base that report based on key metrics on sustainability, such as carbon footprint and gender diversity. When the 2020 100 list was announced in January this year, not one, not two, but actually 3 Nordic companies were listed in the top 3 positions of the 100 most sustainable corporations in the world. That's fantastic news. I'm also very proud that Autodesk is now ranked as number 5 on that list. Now, it's difficult to pinpoint one main ingredient that results in the Nordics being one of the leaders in sustainability. There are several factors which influence, some of which are widely known, and others were supported by the research. Frost and Sullivan learned that there's a huge social responsibility for sustainability, but also know that regulation plays a key role in driving this as well. Frost and Sullivan also found that the Nordic region to be the most mature, ahead of regions like Benelux and the UK and Ireland. Here are some of the key findings that came out. The Nordic countries had the lowest level of perceived challenges, especially in terms of financial resources and access to skills and training. These achievements reflect a long legacy of companies committing to ESG, environmental and social and governance criteria. The ESG is a key component in corporate strategy, and building strong capabilities and expertise in sustainability is an important part of projects and relationships with clients. The maturity of digital sustainability in the Nordics is highlighted by the region's view of access to and technology as less of a challenge compared to views with the other regions. Since I'm focused with the AEC industry, I found it quite interesting to see the number of companies said that sustainability was and is a cornerstone of their corporate strategy. It's clearly established in the Nordics, and worth noting, there is a gap between architecture and engineering, where 64% of the companies see sustainability as a key strategic component, where compared to construction, which was at 49%. And we know there's a disconnect between the sectors, and there's a lack of control in the final selection of materials and products in their projects. And a further digitalization and collaboration is needed, which is supported by a common data environment. Now, if you listen to Linnell's presentation on the key takeaways of Frost and Sullivan study, if you haven't, you can do that our booth here on the platform. She mentions the 3 C's driving change, and a closer look at all the drivers that we asked our respondents for. The Nordics are far more likely to be driven by market forces and regulations than other regions, which possibly could explain the sustainability levels a bit more. The regulation doesn't necessarily mean government mandates. There's also building certifications, and they are probably more established in the region. Although investor relations was one of the lower drivers in the list, this is something that we see is growing in importance, and the qualitative interviews demonstrated its importance across Northern Europe. The research also explored the biggest benefits of sustainability initiatives. What's in it for us? Which you can see broken down for AC here. It's no surprise that better use of resource and reduced energy consumption comes top for all regions here. AEC is, as we know, a very carbon-intensive industry. So there is a need to build in order to meet the demands of growing populations. So this means we need to find ways to collectively reduce the environmental footprint of our industry. So shouldn't we ask ourselves why not, as opposed to why focus on sustainability? There were probably a big concern that sustainability would take a backseat in the past year, but we started thinking about this research long before the pandemic. And it's quite clear that events of the last year have only served to accelerate sustainability, and that's a very good thing. We can see here from insights that Assembly shared during their interview, them, just like many other companies, have focus areas to become more sustainable, and their team is driving these efficiencies through digital solutions. Another example is terrains, where sustainability is one of its strategies. And the United Nations 17 Sustainability Development Goals serve as a model for alignment. The company has developed its own tool for customer projects, which measures how many projects address its sustainability goals, and that also becomes a KPI for terrains. Today, it's being tested in the Aircon Portal project, which is also called Norway's Smartest House, located in Oslo. We can also turn our heads to Finland and Ingenieure Group. They reiterate that being sustainable is an unavoidable business driver. It's quite clear that it makes sense for business with both internal and external forces driving sustainability. And here's another example that I really like. You may remember Norconsult, who received AEC Excellence Awards 2020 for their design and construction of Highway E39. The client had amazing and ambitious goals, not only to reduce the carbon emissions by 20%, but they also wanted the project model in a model-based BIM level 3. Norconsult enabled a 15% reduction of CO2 emissions for the Ford Bridge alone by using parametric design. And that reduction is equivalent to the energy that Norconsult, 4,000 employees as a company, uses for an entire year. The report also found that with an increasing focus on carbon emissions reduction, there's a strong interest in life cycle analysis and life cycle cost products. And this is something that EFLA from Iceland demonstrates here. These products will need to address specific areas of focus in AEC, such as energy modeling, renewable energy, and innovative construction materials. So before I close off this presentation and perhaps see if there's any questions from the audience, I'll leave you with a quote from Sweco's Matthias Goldman. Like many of the companies mentioned today, Sweco understands the importance of sustainability for their business. And being able to measure ROI for these investments is crucial. And that ability will also help to drive the industry towards a more sustainable future together. I want to thank you again for listening. And if you're interested in hearing more about this topic, you can also join our LinkedIn Live event on the 21st of April, which is probably next Wednesday, I believe at 5:30 p.m. So check out LinkedIn for that event and get registered there as well. That's it from me, Henrik. Do we have any questions?
Thanks a lot, Joachim. Very interesting. I'll just take a look to see if there are any questions. And to the audience, don't be shy. Write a question in the Q&A section. And onto that, I have a question for you. I was thinking around something, Joachim. When you saw this, the result of this study, what actually kind of surprised you most?
I maybe if I jump back to, it was probably, I was a bit positive surprised to see that the competitive advantage comes out really high in Nordics, and I think that's very positive. I didn't expect it to come that high, but that was a really good result, I think, an indication. I was expecting investor relations to be a stronger impact, but it is growing, so that's also a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's no other questions in the queue, but I have a few for you then, Joachim.
Okay,
what do you think?
sure.
What do you think is the most important step as an organization you can take actually to become more sustainable? Do we have a view on that?
Yeah, I have a view. I mean, what I think is I mean, in order to drive a change, I think you need to, you need to sort of assess whether this makes sense in your company strategy. And I think if you want to make a positive impact to our environment, it should be. And there's a big social responsibility in the Nordics, and hence I think sustainability is a key. So I think defining some goals that are specific to environmental positive impact is some first step that companies can actually take.
Yeah, so define some goals, and then afterwards, of course, measure on these goals, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna set yourself up for failure, create a goal that's not measurable. But if you wanna measure success, make it a bit easy to measure, a defined goal that is possible to measure. Otherwise, I think we're just hoping hoping for luck to achieve the goals that we set up.
Yeah, exactly. But that leads to my final question here, actually. And what do you think is the key, actually, to the transition for just talking about being more sustainable to actually take action and to be more, sustainable?
I think again, referring back to if you want to drive transformation and change, like I think it was Einstein who said, idiot is doing the same things all over but expecting a more positive outcome. So in order to change something, we have to make changes. In order to make changes, we have to measure what we do. So make small steps but measure them. Be specific on what you measure and why. And I think why is especially important because purpose is important for people, and if people believe they have a for why they go to work, it improves their satisfaction as well. So the attract talent and employee satisfaction here at 59%. I was probably expecting that to be a bit higher, but improving a sense of belonging and purpose, I think is also supported by having a focus on sustainability.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. All right. Thanks a lot, Joachim. Thanks for a very good presentation. And as Joachim said, that in the expo booth, you can see a lot more. And there's a video of with a focus on this study. So go there, get some more informations. And thank you for participating. The next breakout session will start at 12 o'clock. So there will be time for a short coffee break. Again, thank you very much, Joachim. Talk to you.
Thank you, Henrik.
See you later. See you later.
Thank you.